Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Greg and today we're gonna check out the new flashlight from Wurkkos, the FC13. Okay, promo alert! Before you go watch the rest of the video, if you decide to get an FC13, Wurkkos is giving 30% discount to the fans of the channel. Yes, that's 30%. I'll post the purchase link in the description. Go tick the 20% coupon code discount and use the code Dadventure, that's D-A-D Venture, for an additional 10% discount on your FC13. So go watch the rest of the video and check if this flashlight is for you. Okay, so let's open this up. So this is the FC13 from Wurkkos and it comes in the new packaging and I actually like it. It's a step up from the old Wurkkos packaging in yellow and white. So these are the old Wurkkos boxes and I kind of like this new packaging better. It gives you a sense of better quality, but it looks suspiciously more like an O-light than anything else. For example, on an O-light, you see the product inside, the brand, the model, same logos on the side. Though the Wurkkos has some specs printed at the back, okay, same logos on the other side. This new packaging definitely looks a little more O-light to me. Okay, so tip Wurkkos, can you make it a little more original? So this particular FC13 is black and comes with the SFT40. The previous runs of the FC13 come with a different LED. Let's open this up. I like it that they used a sleeve covering a plain white box. The opening of the box is magnetic, so that's an upgrade. So overall, this is a better unboxing experience from the old Wurkkos packaging. And true enough, similar to the O-lights and other brands, they have this cardboard cover thanking you for choosing their brand and some basic instructions telling you to remove the plastic cover from the battery, which is included in this package. So what else is in the box? So it's a lanyard. Actually, really hard to take this out. But this smaller box contains the documentation and a charging cable. So it's a USB-A to USB-C. And surrounded by a white foam pad is the actual flashlight. So that's what you get. Okay, so this is the FC13. And to me at least, the FC13 looks less like an FC series flashlight. So this is the FC11 and more of a TS series flashlight. So this is the TS25. So to me, the FC13 looks more like a TS series flashlight with the enlarged head, okay, and the same style of tail cap and the same style of pocket clip than the FC series flashlight, which is usually just a straight tube and the head does not protrude too much from the body tube. So what do you think? Does the FC13 look more like a TS series or does it stay true to the DNA of an FC series flashlight? What makes this similar to the FC series flashlights? Because they also use an 18650 battery. The TS series flashlights use a 21700, so they have a larger body tube. Let's look inside. Unscrew the head. So that's the board. I would have hoped that Wurkkos put another spring on the head side. So you can also screw the body tube either way. So if you don't like taking off the pocket clip or you want the pocket clip to be mounted on the other side of the flashlight, it is very straightforward to just flip the body tube over. Okay, another feature that is thankfully not on the FC13 but are on the other flashlights is this. The FC series has magnetic tail caps and even the TS series, but the new FC13 does not. So if you have an FC series flashlight like the FC11, you can just swap out the tail cap and it will still work, and you will have an FC13 with a magnetic tail cap. So if this FC13 is still quite large for your purposes, we would remember that we had the option with the FC11 to change the body tube. So we can get a shorter body tube for the FC11. So let's try that and use the short body tube. So we'll use this smaller 18350. Now we have a quite small FC13. So it's a mini FC13. And this is a very good size for an EDC flashlight. Obviously, if you're using a smaller battery, the run times will be different. If you compare the beam patterns on the FC11 and the FC13, it is clear that the FC13 with the SFT40 LED has a more intense and concentrated hotspot. So, who is this flashlight for? Okay, so if you are a flashlight enthusiast, a hobbyist, or a collector, definitely this is a good option to put in your collection. It's a nice flashlight running Anduril 2. It's a good thrower. You can do a lot of things, configure it the way you want to, change the color of the button switch, and you can also mod it the way you like. But for the rest of us who just want a functional flashlight, is this for you? Well, I could also say yes, because if you are looking for a good EDC flashlight to carry around, this is a good option if you don't have an EDC flashlight yet. If you want to get into flashlights, this is a good entry point because you can do a lot and you can always reset the flashlight if you get lost. If you plan to use this as your EDC flashlight, I recommend getting the short tube for the FC series. Then you can use an 18350 battery or a 16350 battery. Unfortunately, this cannot take RCR123 or a CR123 when you use a short tube. But overall, this is a great EDC flashlight option that has great throw, has great battery life, and has a very tactile button switch that is easy to index even in the dark, especially if you have illumination on the button switch. Another plus for this particular flashlight that I mentioned earlier is that it does not have a magnet in the tail cap, so I don't fear carrying this in my pocket. Even if I have my wallet in there or my ATM cards or credit cards, I don't have the risk of demagnetizing my cards. So this is also a great option if you are concerned about that. To reset your flashlight, just loosen the tail cap, press the button switch so it doesn't turn on because we have the tail cap loosened, and retighten the tail cap until it switches on and goes through the flashing. And if you see that strong flashing burst, then you know that your flashlight has already been reset. So if you ever get lost in the complexity of Anduril 2, you can always go back and reset your flashlight and you can start over and play with it again. And at any time, anyway, if you need light, you know that If you press it, it turns on. If you press it again, it turns off. The basic function of a flashlight that we all need a flashlight to do. Alright? So, this is a really fun light, I should say, to have if you are a flashlight enthusiast, a hobbyist, or a collector. And if you're also looking for your EDC flashlight, this is a great option. The throw is really far, so it's very useful in walking around, checking your property, walking your dog. So this is a great thrower option if you are looking for one. Just the basic stuff for Anduril 2, you have the option to go into a stepped ramping or a smooth ramping mode. So if it's on, just click it 3 times, 1, 2, 3. It has a short burst. Then you know you have stepped ramping. Okay, if you want to go back to the smooth ramping, turn it on, 1, 2, 3. It goes back to the smooth ramping mode. So for this function alone, if you are not much into flashlights, having a flashlight that ramps up and ramps down, and you can stop at any light intensity that you want, that function alone is worth having a flashlight like this. So how cool is that? It's not a common function that you will find on any other flashlight. This flashlight also has strobe functions, but you have several choices on what kind of strobe you want to have. But for those who are looking for a tactical application of the strobe function, you have the high intensity strobe. So to access that, you have to have the flashlight in the advanced mode. All right, so you saw that little burst. Now you can go into strobe mode by doing 3 clicks and holding the 3rd click. Okay, the first strobe mode is that. Double click to move through the different strobe functions. Okay, so this high intensity tactical strobe is what most people think of when you say a strobe function on a flashlight, so I'll leave it at that. So when there's an emergency, I need a tactical strobe, I just click the flashlight 3 times and hold it. It automatically goes to that tactical strobe function that I stopped at when I scrolled through the strobe functions. So another function of the Anduril 2 user interface is that you can lock this flashlight out, so you can prevent accidental firing of the flashlight in your pocket or in your bag. So because if you are wearing tight pants and you have this clipped in your pocket, there is a chance that the flashlight can accidentally turn on in your pocket. So how do you prevent that? You click the button 4 times and it goes into a lockout mode. When the button is pressed, it only has that lowest intensity light. So to get out of lockout mode, just click it again 4 times, then you're back at the regular function of your flashlight. So strobe, lockout, that's the additional functions that we find very useful above and beyond just having light. Okay, there are a lot more things you can do with this flashlight because it uses Anduril 2, but we won't go through that in this video. If you are into flashlights, I'm sure you know the ton of things that we can do with flashlights. With regard to the clip, it uses the double back pocket clip that you can use to clip onto your hat, but with the 18650 body tube, I doubt if I will be using this as a headlamp. It's usable, but quite heavy with that big battery. But if you're using a smaller body tube with maybe an 18350 battery, this is a really good option for an emergency headlamp. If you think this is a good flashlight for you, I have a discount code in the description. I'll flash it also on screen so you can get a discount if you buy this flashlight. So thank you to Wurkkos for sending me this FC13 for review. I hope you found this video useful. So if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video.